It always hasn't been easy. There's not 18 starters in there, full-time starters. A lot of them are role players. You take a guy like Emmett Odegaard, came in as a walk-on and won the starting deep snapper job. I'm surprised you even know who that is. But the only reason y'all know who he is because he made a great play at the very end. But that's a compliment to a deep snapper. When his mom, his head coach, and his special teams coordinator are the only ones that know who he is, he's usually doing a pretty good job. What a great play for him to have on senior day. Again, another memory. I know I sound like a broken record, but those are memories that those kids will have for a lifetime.
And you just mentioned a lot of those players' stories, individual stories, and that's impressive. You're a coach, and so you know your players, but to know each individual story and, like you said, to have those memories, they must have made an impression on you.
Well, they're my guys. I've been here 5 years. I've sat in every one of their living rooms. I've recruited every one of them. Our staff, I shouldn't say I apologize for that. Our staff has, you talk to my 15-year-old daughter, she'll say I've got one brother and 113 stepbrothers. And that's just our family. That's the way we look at it. And, you get to, address the senior parents and just to see the support. And it takes an army to raise a kid. But I'm just one small part in it. Our strength staff, our coaching staff, our GAs, our academic staff, there's a lot, our trainers, our doctors, there's a lot of people that help raise these kids. And it's senior day is always bittersweet. But to be able to send these guys out as winners, in Maverick one more time is huge. And then to get back and I know we haven't gotten there yet, but get back and have a chance to get in postseason is it's huge.
Anything else for Coach Wells?
Thanks. Appreciate y'all coming out.
Okay, a few thoughts after that. This is Isaac Draxler. Just kind of a few thoughts on the game. My key to the game, my number one key, was get out to a fast start. I thought that was going to be more important than the typical, turnover battle or, a lot of times my keys are make some big plays. Obviously, if you're playing a better team, say, the Wisconsin game or whatever, you're going to have to come up with some big plays. You're going to have to kind of, do something to make up that difference. Same thing with that Boise State game. That definitely wasn't the key. The key was come out quick and really bury the Rainbow Warriors. So the Aggies accomplished that. They did that. They got to 6 wins. Definitely a big load off of Matt Wells' back as far as getting to 6 wins and bowl eligibility. That was the not the goal this year, but the kind of the minimum that Matt Wells needed this year to avoid either the hot seat or being fired. So that's just the facts, and I don't think anybody, I don't know too many people that would dispute that. But anyway, huge key to the game. Obviously, they came out and they ran the ball and they were able to pass the ball. Hawaii is a pretty bad defense, and the Aggies have shown that they can score and they can move the ball against bad defenses. Next week will be the test, I think. If Utah State can beat Air Force, it could end up being a close game. I don't think Utah State's rush defense is where it probably could be or should be at this point of the season. I think the defensive line has improved a lot. I definitely give props to the defensive line as far as their improvement and playing without Ian Tongiai, et cetera, et cetera. But I think going into that Air Force game, the Aggies are going to have to both come out ready to play on the defensive line as well as, all 11 guys really play well to not only stop Air Force's rushing attack, but also make some things happen with turnovers and make some big plays against Air Force to get that win. Get to win number 7. Obviously, that would put the Aggies ahead of not only some of the Mountain West teams like UNLV if they get bowl eligible, and ahead of some of the lower conference teams like the Sun Belt and Conference USA teams that could be bowl eligible. That bowls are deciding between. The bottom line is the Mountain West has 5 bowls to choose from, or 5 bowl tie-ins guarantees, and if Utah State isn't one of those top 5 teams, which looks I'm pretty sure is impossible to happen at this point, really. The Aggies aren't going to be one of those top 5 teams, so they could still go to one of those 5 bowl games, but that guarantee is no longer on the table. In my opinion, after spending a lot of time and research, I think the Aggies are a lot more likely to go to like a Arizona Bowl that does have a tie-in if one of those bigger bowls is available, and takes one of the Fresno State, San Diego State, depending on who wins the championship. Boise State went to the Cactus Bowl last year, if you remember, and so they got a lot bigger payout than Las Vegas Bowl or one of those other Mountain West Bowls. So that was good for the conference, good for them. And this year will probably be something similar, where one of the top teams that doesn't go to the Las Vegas Bowl, doesn't win the championship, they would probably go to one of the Phoenix Bowls, or something like that. So, or I guess it would be the Cactus Bowl, not the Phoenix Bowl, but play in Phoenix, taking the spot, the Big 12 spot, whether that's one of the Texas Bowls or one of the Cactus Bowls. So anyway, enough about that. I think the Aggies are just about guaranteed to go to a bowl game with 6 wins, but they're not completely guaranteed, whereas with 7 wins, I would say they would be guaranteed. But I do have some updates to make on my article at ustateaggies.com. Check that out. I'll be updating after today's games who's 1 win away, who's in a must-win situation, and who's out of it, who's still in it, that kind of thing. So a few good things happen, a few bad things happen as far as bowl eligibility, or bowl landscape, I guess, maybe is the better word. But obviously the Aggies made it to 6 wins and are bowl eligible. So those are some of my thoughts for next week. I think this Aggie team is playing well enough to go into Air Force and beat the Falcons, beat Air Force Academy. So they just have to go in there and obviously do it and make that happen. So it'll be a fun game to watch next Saturday. Also, a little plug, both on Twitter. You can find a tweet, or on the Spreaker homepage of this podcast. You can click the link and contribute to the PayPal account for the Aggie Up Podcast. So Aggie Up Podcast needs better equipment and software to do podcasts. We try to go to away games, so that costs money as well. So if you have a few bucks that you can contribute, that would be much appreciated. Check it out. You can definitely check it out on Twitter or on the podcast homepage on Spreaker. So thanks for listening, as always, and go Aggies.